What is the music of life? Silence, my brother. Hey, what's going on, peeps? My name is Rex and we're back with some more Elder Scrolls Skyrim. On the last episode, we started the Dark Brotherhood questline, and today we will continue it, of course. We finished Innocence is Lost, which is a quest where Aretino asks you to kill Grelod the Kind, which obviously starts a Brotherhood questline. Now, after you complete that quest, you need to wait 24 hours before the next step is triggered, which is the step where you receive the letter. Now, I did that off camera. One of these ones is not that one. Is it this one? There we go. We know. So before I move forward, so explain how this works. You have to wait 24 hours after you complete Innocence is Lost for the courier to be triggered, giving you this letter. Now, do have in mind that it just triggers the courier. And if you keep moving around the world, then it'll take longer for the courier to reach you, of course. So the amount of time that it actually takes for you to receive this letter obviously varies depending on how often you move. Now, that being said, as long as you wait the 24 hours, I am almost positive that you don't actually need the letter. You could probably just go ahead and sleep, and it'll trigger Astrid kidnapping you. I'm not sure if that's 100% the case. I just know that it is possible to have her kidnap you without you actually getting the letter. That as much that I know as much, but regardless, you do need to wait 24 hours, so that's the dealio. Now, it's interesting because allegedly there's some areas of the game where you can actually sleep, where she won't be able to kidnap you. Specifically speaking, some areas here in Whiterun, it is believed that some areas in the residential section of Whiterun, of Windhelm, sorry, which would be, you know, where Hierim, I was gonna call it Hjalmir. Hierim, the house that you can buy here, is this area, and I believe also somewhere here, this whole section over here as well. I don't think she can actually kidnap you if you stay there. It might also be the case with Candlehearth Hall. Might actually, let's slip here and see. I think I've been kidnapped here before, so I don't think it's true for this particular inn. But I'm sure that if you sleep in here, I don't think it works.
Great rooms upstairs, and sure thing, it's yours for a day.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, I never know which one is my room. There's so many doors here. Oh, that goes outside. I think it's downstairs. Now, I don't really have a specific topic for this video, but I do have a couple of questions, 4 questions that I want to answer for this one. Let's go ahead and do the 1 hour. There we go. It doesn't matter how long you sleep.
Sleep well. Does it matter? You're warm, dry, and still very much alive. That's more than can be said for old Grelod, Half of Skyrim knows. Old hag gets butchered in her own orphanage. Things like that tend to get around. Oh, but don't misunderstand. I'm not criticizing. It was a good kill. Old crone had it coming. And you saved a group of urchins to boot. But there is a slight problem. You see, that little Aretino boy was looking for the Dark Brotherhood. For me and my associates. Grelod the Kind was, by all rights, a Dark Brotherhood contract. A kill that you stole. A kill you must repay. Well now, funny you should ask. If you turn around, you'll notice my guests. I've collected them from, well, that's not really important. The here and now. That's what matters. You see, there's a contract out on one of them, and that person can't leave this room alive. But, oh, which one? Go on, see if you can figure it out. Make your choice. Make your kill. I just want to observe and admire. See, I knew we could resolve this civilly. A debt owed must be repaid. You understand that. Well, get to it then. Pick your guest and send the poor fool to the void. I'll give you the key to this shack, and you'll be on your way.
So we got our 3 persons here that we can kill. One of them has a contract on them, and we have to, I suppose, guess which one it is. We can talk to them, and they give us tips, and we're supposed to figure it out. But before we proceed, though, I have a question here that obviously has a lot to do with this particular situation we're stuck in. Saber Taig, I hope I pronounced that correctly, asks, before you join the Brotherhood and become the listener, the Brotherhood have no listener, so how do they detect the black sacraments? It actually goes beyond that, Saber. It's not just that we don't have any listeners, it's that there is no Nightmother in the sanctuary, so it goes even a step beyond that. So what he's asking is, see, usually the black sacrament, the ritual is made, and then with some unknown magic, the Nightmother, who we believe is to some degree omniscient, sees the sacrament, and then he tells the listener who to kill, right? Now the problem is we have no listener, and the Nightmother is not even in the sanctuary in the first place. So how is our good friend Astrid here getting this information? How does she know that we killed Grella the Kind? How is she killing anybody when the Nightmother is not even here? Well, she actually explains a little bit of it. She says word gets around, and that's pretty much how she gets her kills. And I was wondering that for the longest time, but I mean, she does say it. It's every person that wants somebody else dead spreads it as a form of rumor, and then those rumors eventually get to the Brotherhood assassins, and then that's how they know. It's a very crude and kind of unorganized system, but I guess it gets the job done, which is interesting. But see, we know that when we left the orphanage, everyone knew that it was us who killed Grella. Like, that's not news to anybody. Everyone knows that. Everyone saw us leave the orphanage, and of course we are extremely popular in this province. So it really, I mean, it's not crazy to believe that she knew that it was me who did it. But that really does explain it. I mean, there is no other sanctuary active. The Falkreath sanctuary that we have here in Skyrim is literally, and I explained that in the last episode, is literally the last one standing. I mean, there are a few that are still there, but they have no assassins in them. Pretty much like the Dawnstar sanctuary, is there, but it's completely empty. The Falkreath one is the only one that's active, so we know that it's purely just rumors that, you know, makes her know who to kill. Now, that being said, let's continue on with this quest. So the interesting thing about this quest is that it doesn't matter who you kill, you will succeed in your mission, which goes to... this is something that I assume. It is very likely that every single person here actually has a contract on them, so it doesn't matter who you killed, you actually get to kill a contract. And it is reinforced by the fact that if you talk to every single one of them, they all have their reasons for people to want them killed, right? So we got Fulheim the Fearless. He is a fighter, a Nord that fights in wars. He has killed a lot of people, and it is very likely that those people's families have issued contracts against them. Obviously, we have the C-word of a woman, Alia Quintus, who her husband left her with 6 children, and she's had to raise them all by herself. And that made her a bitter person, because she had to be to raise 6 urchins. So it is very likely that she's also has a bounty on her head. And of course, I mean, Vasha, who, I mean, you just need to talk to him for like a second to realize that he's kind of a badass. He defiles daughters, as he puts it. He kills people. I mean, he's a literal... Like, he would be in the Thieves Guild if he's... I would assume he probably is part of it as well, so I don't know. But they all have their reasons to be killed, and because it doesn't matter who you killed, you still succeed, it is very likely that you, in fact... that every single person here actually has a contract, so you might as well just kill them all. If you decide not to kill them and instead attack Astrid, and by the way, you have to choose one. You cannot leave the place without either killing one of them or attacking Astrid. But and if you attack Astrid, you start the Destroy the Dark Brotherhood questline, which will result in you having to kill the entire Brotherhood. But of course, we're not going to do that since we're doing this for lore purposes, of course. But I still suggest killing them, not just for the story, which by the way is awesome, but because looting these people allow you to get the execution hood, and this place is the only place in which you can actually get this item. So, you know, kind of important. You can also get the fine clothes, but, you know, you can get them from here. I don't think they have anything else. No, just the hoods. The hoods are, as I said, very rare, so you can only get it from here, so might as well just get one.
Well, well, aren't we the overachiever? 3 possibilities, 3 victims. Must have been one of them, right? So why take chances?
It is the logical conclusion, though, that every single one of them had a bounty on their head, but it is worth of note that if you notice that she actually has a very specific dialogue option, not option, a dialogue line for you killing all 3 members. You know, she says, oh, so all 3 of them, whatever, and then she talks about it. I want to say that there is actually a dialogue line for her for every single possibility or outcome that can come out of this whole quest line. So if you kill Fulheim and Vasha, then she says something different than what she would normally say if you were to kill Vasha and the girl, the woman, right? So it's pretty interesting that she has one for every possible outcome.
Indeed. For you, my friend, seem to understand what's truly important. When I give an order to spill blood, you follow it. No questions, no remorse. Of course. And you've repaid your debt in full. Here's the key to the shack. But why stop here? I say we take our relationship to the next level. I would like to officially extend to you an invitation to join my family, the Dark Brotherhood. In the southwest reaches of Skyrim, in the Pine Forest, you'll find the entrance to our sanctuary. It's just beneath the road, hidden from view. When questioned by the Black Door, answer with the correct passphrase, "Silence, my brother." Then you're in, and your new life begins. I'll see you at home.
And that's it. We got our map updated, of course, for the sanctuary. So, since you're not allowed to know where the shack is until you finish the quest line, your map marker will show you where you actually slept last time instead of, you know, where you actually are. It's not until you actually leave the sanctuary until the game actually shows you where you are, which is interesting. Also, your companion will not follow you until you come out of the shack. She should be there. There we go. So it's kind of interesting. And also, it's worth noting that there is no other door in this shack. This shack only has the one door. So there is absolutely no way of leaving, which is interesting because if you leave the shack and then come back in, Astrid will actually not be there. So somehow, some way, she must have left without you noticing, probably using that little open over there. Doesn't matter. If you don't want to kill them, like I believe if you attack Astrid and you leave the shack and come back, you can actually pickpocket this guys for the hood. You guys can correct me on that, but I believe that's possible. So you can still get the hoods even if you go and kill the girl. So, you know, just saying. Anyways, there you go. I don't believe there's a way to enter the shack anyways if you don't ever do this quest, but you can obviously cheat it and kill Astrid before the quest even starts, completely, you know, destroying your game, I guess. Don't ever do that. Don't ever cheat, guys. Anyways, so we can go to the Brotherhood. I don't believe I have Falkreath yet. I'm gonna have to walk all the way to the sanctuary, which I guess we can do. We should probably go to Helgen. Enemies nearby. Well, that's a shame. I think I did Helgen before, didn't I, on one of the other episodes? Might have. Oh boy, I hate this area because there's always mud crabs and choruses just hidden in the swamp, so it's hard to fast travel away from here. I guess I can answer another question while I'm trying to deal with this invisible monsters. Oh boy, what a drag. By Darren Perkins, if Talos was able to use the brass tower to manipulate time, why hasn't a Daedra, specifically Mehrunes Dagon, used it to take over Mundus or Nirn? As in Mehrunes' case, he could use his soul to fuel it. and win in the Oblivion Crisis. Well, the problem here, Darren, is that nobody really... There we go. Nobody really knows where the Numidium is, and I should probably give you like a small timeline of the of the events that unfolded with Numidium, so that we can understand just where he is and what the hell happened. And I think I guess I didn't do this before. I must have not saved it or something. I think I died. Oh boy. Let's go and summon a familiar. So Numidium was first created by the Dwemer. We know that, right? They created it so that they could transcend mortality and become gods, I guess, in some way or fashion. They had the Kagrenak tools that were specifically designed to use the heart of Lorcan to fuel the Numidium so that they could, you know, fulfill this. Now, the Shimmer knew what they were up to, and I believe they were currently in Morrowind when we were trying to do this, in Vanderfell, if I'm not mistaken. The Shimmer, the Dark Elves before this all happened, the Shimmer, they attacked the Dwemer, and the Dwemer disappeared, right? I mean, it is assumed that the Dwemer used the Kagrenak tools on the Heart of Lorcan, and somehow, some way, they disappeared from time. They just completely disintegrated from the world. Probably achieving immortality, but we don't really know that, and it's all speculation. Now, the Shimmer utilized the Heart of Lorcan to become gods. I mean, we know that story. Nerevar was killed, and and yeah, I mean, we know the story, right? I mean, we know that Daedras, Or, and Almalexia, and all those, the Tribune all became gods because of the Heart of Lorcan after that. They didn't really want to use the Numidium for whatever reason. I believe they just weren't interested at all in world domination, and they were mostly interested in just becoming gods themselves, which, I mean, it's not a bad choice. I probably would do that too. Instead of taking over the world, I would just become a god. You know, instead of using the heart to fuel Numidium, I would use the heart to fuel myself, and then just be amazing, right? So that's what they did, and they became gods. So they really had no use of Numidium. They had no way of fueling it, and they just didn't care, so they gave it to Tiber Septim. And then Tiber Septim, and we know the story already, I've already talked about it in great lengths, he used the Mantella to fuel the Numidium and then conquer the world. Thing is, the Numidium was then destroyed by what I believe was the Underking, and this is in Daggerfall, Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, and I haven't played that game, so I don't really know exactly how the ending goes, but according to the scripts, Numidium actually disappeared. He was destroyed by the Honor King, and there's a lot of different things happened. I mean, the end of Daggerfall was created in a way so that there were different endings, and every ending is actually canon. You know, we already explained in a previous video how the whole time dilation works, but it was actually created, that whole shebang with the time dilations and the different realities and whatever, that was all created for Daggerfall, so that every single ending of Daggerfall could actually be canon, because the developers wanted to do that, so whatever. But after all those different endings canonized, Numidium allegedly disappeared, and nobody knows where it is. And we know that Daedras are not necessarily omniscient, and that was actually proven by a Dwemer of all people. I don't remember the book off the top of my head, but there's a book in this game that talks about how the Dwemer were trying to prove that Daedras were not, you know, as all-powerful as they actually make you believe they are. And we have proof that a Dwemer actually tricked a Daedra. And it was a small trick where, if I remember correctly, and you guys can correct me on that if I haven't mistaken. Ooh, boy. But, oh boy, this guy's tough. This guy's tough. A Dwemer had a box. And the trick was to put something in this box and ask a Daedra if she could see inside of the box. You know, if she truly did... Oh boy, my attack's stuck. There we go. If she truly had, if she was truly omniscient, right? If she could see inside of the box, even though the box was closed. So what this Dwemer did was, the box was actually empty. If I remember correctly, oh, I hope I remember this correctly. You guys can correct me, but the point of the trick was that the box was actually empty, but he was holding in his hand below the box, I believe, was a flower. So a Daedra that could see through the box would still see the flower, even though the flower is not necessarily inside of the box, it was just below it, right? And the Dwemer asked Daedra, okay, so what's inside of the box? And the Daedra, which I believe was Meridia or Asura, said, oh, there's a flower. And then he opened the box and there was nothing, right? And it was a way for the Dwemer to prove that Daedras are not all omnipresent or all knowing or whatever, which was interesting, all of, you know, just by itself. But oh, I completely lost track of what I was saying. I went on a complete tangent with this story with the Dwemer. What was it talking about? Brass Tower, Numidium. Oh boy, I lost complete track of myself. Anyways, point is, sorry. It's hard to play and just focus on what I'm saying. Point is, the tribunal became gods. We don't know where Numidium is. Oh yeah, because the Daedras are not omniscient. They're not really. They don't really know where Numidium is, so they can't get it, I guess is my point. Another, in quotes, Numidium was created by Digith in Morrowind, but it wasn't really Numidium. It was another. It was a creation of himself. Wasn't really as strong as Numidium, although it was actually powered by the Heart of Lorcan. But it wasn't as strong. I mean, the Dwemer are on their own kind of league, so it wasn't on their level. And you get to destroy that at the end of Morrowind anyway. So my point is, there is no Numidium left. Like, it just doesn't exist in our reality. Maybe even on no reality. So, alright, sorry about that. So yeah, that's why. No Daedra, especially, I guess, in your question, was Merun's taken. Because Oblivion happened after Morrowind, of course, and after Daggerfall, so Numidium actually didn't exist in that time frame. Oh boy. Alright, I'm good. Let me just go ahead and quick save here. I'm not very good at playing while I'm also talking, as you guys can probably already tell. Flores Bulk asks, can you tell some stuff about the Ebony Warrior? We don't know much about him, but he's an awesome dude, like you are in the game. He also seems to be a Dragonborn, by the way. Flores, well, he's not really a Dragonborn. He, we know that you don't have to be a Dragonborn to know words of power, just like the Greybeards are, just like Ulfric Stormcloak is. You know, you can just train with them, with the Greybeards, or you can just learn them by yourself. Like, it's not... It's very difficult, and we know that it is extremely difficult, but... I am not going the right way, am I? No. But we know that it is entirely possible for you to learn words of power without really requiring to be a Dragonborn, or even requiring to be a full-blown, like, Greybeards member. And that's probably what he was. But he's interesting just because he was a Redguard and he wanted to go to Sovngarde. Oh, we got a courier again.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. There's a new lady in charge of the orphanage in Riften. She asked me to hand out these notices to everyone I met. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Alright, cool. We can go and check out the new orphanage lady later on. But what's cool about the Ebony Warrior is that he's a Redguard and he wants to go to Sovngarde, which was our tell that maybe not...
Did you see a dog?
No, I haven't seen the dog. We'll worry about that quest later.
Next time.
It's not only Nords that can go to Sovngarde, and that's why the Ebony Warrior was kind of important, because it almost like... It almost gives you that little bit of info that may actually prove that you don't have to be a Nord to go to Sovngarde, which I thought, in my opinion, is kind of important, right? Because it kind of... it kind of explains a lot how the universe of the Elder Scrolls works as far as like where you go, as far as what heaven is and how you go to heaven and how that whole thing works. It's really just about how you sell your soul and who you sell it to, right? And we talked about that before, so I'm not going to go into it again, but that's why that's one of the main reasons why I think the Ebony Warrior is actually very important, just because of that little factoid. But just to cut it short, though, we don't really have that much lore on the Ebony Warrior. He's really just a badass dude that wants to die in combat and wants someone to be able to defeat him. But the reason why I like the Ebony Warrior here in this game is because he almost gives you that PvP experience that people obviously want. I mean, everyone wants PvP in this game. That would have been amazing, just having your character fight another character. But the Ebony Warrior gives you that. It makes it so that you actually get a character that is almost, or not just stronger than you, right? I mean, he has amazing equipments, he has actually perks, and a lot of people don't know that about Skyrim. A lot of these characters actually do have perks in them, like just like you have here. You know, conjuration perks, I don't know, sneaking perks, light armor perks, whatever, like the Ebony Warrior actually has these perks on him. So for all terms and purposes, he is a player character. It's just obviously stupider. Maybe not so much, but you know, he has really good equipment. He has perks like everyone else. He has shouts. He, you know, like he is designed to almost like behave like a player character. And it was probably the designer's choice to have that just so that you could have at least that experience, you know, like one last challenger before finishing the game, because you have to be level 80, so that's pretty much at the end of the game. So that's, I guess, the reson why he was included, but there's really not much lore for him at all, if there even is. There really isn't, though. I'll make a video. I'm making a video, actually it's almost made. I'm editing it tonight, so it'll probably be tomorrow or the day after. Upload it. But it's about the strongest enemies in the game, and you will hear a little bit more about him, so look forward to that, Flores.
What is the music of life? Welcome.
It's pretty cool stuff. Actually, I'm not sure who's that supposed to be, right? Because there's obviously some kind of supernatural phenomenon, whatever the voice of the door is, or who that entity is. And you can see here, this is the Nightmother, or it's supposed to be a representation of the Nightmother. And oh boy, I should talk about that on the next episode, because that's going to be a full-blown topic, who that woman is. But those are supposed to be her children. She was asked by Sithis to kill her children, and if she did that, she would become the bride of Sithis. And that's a representation of the children, and then, you know, the dagger killing them. Black Hand, of course, being the leadership of the Brotherhood. We talked about that on the last episode, and it's interesting because the Black Hand is actually, well, it has a lot of similarities with an actual mafia organization from like the early 1900s, that they actually use the same style of hand for their you know, racket or whatever. I don't know if that's where it comes from, but it's a lot of similarities, and that's, you know, you can see the hands over here too. Very important stuff.
Ah, at last. I hope you found the place all right. Well, what happens now is you start your new life in the Dark Brotherhood. You're part of the family, after all. This, as you can see, is our sanctuary. You won't find a safer place in all of Skyrim. So get comfortable. Our family, my dearest. Our family. Together, united as one, the Dark Brotherhood can accomplish anything. But you must be anxious to get to work. I'm arranging a job, but need a bit more time. For now, go see Nazir. He's got several smaller contracts. Soon, the Nightmother will arrive, and things around here are sure to get even more interesting. Ah, but one last thing. A welcome home present. The armor of the Dark Brotherhood. May it serve you well in all your endeavors.
The armor is going to be really useful for us, since we're going to have to kill a couple of people while trying to be sneaky about it. So yeah, we'll introduce ourselves to the members. Now, the interesting thing about this armor is that it actually gets improved as we proceed with the story of the Brotherhood. So poison resistance, you know, better sneaking. We get bows do more damage. This is fantastic for sneaking kills. Sadly, I don't think I have the conjuration spell for a bow. I'm gonna have to get that, because holy crap, it's fantastic. And it's definitely gonna help us out on this quest line, and backstab those double damage. This quest is very difficult to do. This whole quest line is very difficult to do if you don't have the right equipment or the right stats for this, because you really do require to be very good at sneaking and to be able to do those backstabs. And this kind of helps you out, but it's just not enough, especially not on Legendary, man. One-shotting people on Legendary when you don't have the stats is very, very difficult. So we're definitely going to accrue some bounties, and I'm going to suck at it, so you guys are going to have to be okay with it. We will get bounties, and I don't know if I have a way of really avoiding that, because I don't want to spend too much of my skill points focusing on stealth. I don't think I really want to do that, but you can also get this.
They're all
which I believe is just the same thing, right? No, I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's different. So you get the maskless, which is well, they have different stats altogether. Yeah, they're completely different. Look, this one is destruction. Yeah. Then we got the gloves. Which one are the gloves? Oh, wraps. Here we go. Double sneak attack with one-handed weapons. Backstab does double damage. So this only works for backstabs. This one works for, allegedly works for attacks that, well, if you attack the front of a target, I mean, it also works, which is kind of cool. Sneak attack, double sneak attack damage. I know there are some very specific differences between the two. Wouldn't be able to tell you from the top of my head, but I know there's some very like specific statistical differences that they work in different scenarios and stuff. This one I would assume could work in on the side or even the front of the character if you're still sneaking, of course. It's also worth to note that it has 0 armor, so you could use it as a mage. If you want to go down that route and you want to use mage armor, this one works, you know, fantastic. Yeah, not much for that. We'll get better versions of these as well as we proceed with the story. And as you can see,
I'm afraid I don't have a primary contract.
yeah, we'll have to wait on that. I believe this map actually shows you every single contract that you have fulfilled. So as we continue with the storyline, daggers are going to be shown on the map portraying the targets that you have killed. So we will keep an eye out on that to be sure that that's actually the case. But I don't think there's anything here really to be for us to do. We're gonna have to go inside and have some conversations with the people here.
Again. Do the part where he tries to buy you some candy.
Okay, wait. Here we go. Oh, you're such a pretty little girl. Would the sweetie like a sweetie? Oh yes, how about some chocolate? Oh yes, please, kind sir. My mama and papa left me all alone, and I'm so very hungry. I know a shortcut to the candy shop, through this alley. Oh yeah, very good, very good. My, it's dark down here. Oh, but you're so beautiful, such a lovely smile. Your teeth! No!
No, bad, but you are so wicked.
What about you, Festus? How did that last contract turn out?
Oh, yes. Please, old man. Regale us with your tales of wizardry.
Ah, the young and stupid. Always mocking the experienced and brilliant. My contract went very well, I'll have you know. Tried a new spell. Little something I've been working on in my spare time. Came this close to turning that priest inside out. Damned messy.
And what of your latest, Arnbjorn? Something about a Khajiit. Merchant, was it?
Oh, a big doggy chasing a little kitty. How adorable.
I am not adorable, it was not funny, and he wasn't a merchant. He was a Khajiit monk, a master of the Whispering Fang style. But now he's dead, and I have a new loincloth.
Well, there you go. It's just nice to hear them talk about how they appreciate killing, which, yeah, not necessarily all they care about. Let's go ahead and get the Word of Power.
Tell me, brother, are the stories true?
We get Kill, Marked for Death. Definitely, I would say, is probably the top 3 best shouts in the game. When you complete it, well, when you get all 3 words of power for this, you can actually down dragons hilariously fast. It's definitely the best, especially if you're playing on Legendary, like when everything has like outrageous amounts of HP, and especially if you're playing with bows. Holy crap, those dragons, man, they go down so easily.
Welcome, my brother. Welcome to our sanctuary. You have made the right choice joining us, I assure you. You just trust in Astrid, follow her orders, and you'll do fine here. Once I was a Shadowscale, an assassin in service to the King of Blackmarsh, trained by the Dark Brotherhood since the day of my hatching. But that was a lifetime ago. Today, I am the last of my kind, My order is extinct. Now, I happily serve Astrid in this sanctuary. I am a trained killer, and once again have been given purpose. Life is good.
We don't really get told why, but for whatever reason, the Shadowscales are not doing particularly good. In fact, they try to resurrect the Order a little bit before Skyrim started, but it just didn't quite work out. Don't really know why, but a Shadowscale is okay, I was going to say a Khajiit, an Argonian that from the second that he was born, he is taught the arts of killing and, you know, how to really complete contracts like that. And they pretty much just spend their entire lives killing, which is what makes them as epic as they are. But I don't know, for whatever reason, they don't really work out anymore. We don't really get told why, which is kind of sad. I do want to see if I can show you guys the little mural here, which is definitely one of the only portrays of Sithis that we actually have in the game. It's very rare to get that. Very, very rare. And as you can see, we got the 5 skulls of the children of the Nightmother represented once again. Got another baby there. We got a couple of skulls, a big skull, which this one's supposed to be Sithis. And this two, I'm not sure who they're supposed to be. They're definitely different because they have different hairstyles and their faces are also different. Not sure. Not sure. It's just a very interesting mural because we don't really get representations of Sithis at all in this game. But it's also very interesting that we get the 5 skulls though. We got one last question. Hey Rex, I've got a question. This is by Daniel Willis. What happens if the Black Sacrament is performed in order to kill someone who's a member of the Dark Brotherhood? What would happen? Like, one of the 5 tenants isn't going to kill a member, but isn't ignoring a contract against the Brotherhood. Ignoring a contract is not necessarily against the Brotherhood. What is against the Brotherhood is receiving a contract and not fulfilling it. So that already entails that the Nightmother wants you to kill that person. So, see, the Nightmother is really the head of all of this. If the Nightmother wants you to do something, you have to do it. So it really depends on her. And she has the ability and the willpower to completely, I guess, not go with the tenants at all. I mean, it is up to her after all. So here are the tenants, and they're very, very hard to see. But they are there. Never dishonor the Nightmother. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. Never betray the Dark Brotherhood. Okay, it's very hard to read. Or its secrets. And they all have that little suffix at the end of, you know, to do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. But never dishonor the Mother. Never betray the Dark Brotherhood. Never disobey or refuse. It's very weird there, but I would assume is to never refuse an order of the Dark Brotherhood. Never steal any possessions. And never kill. So those are the 5 tenants. It's the laws passed down by the Nightmother, but the Nightmother is the only one that can actually completely bypass these rules because she is, for all terms and purposes, the leader of this whole cult. And she actually does not give a shit. Like if you ask the Mother to kill another Brotherhood member or a Brotherhood member, and she wants to as well, then she will do it. I mean, she really doesn't give a shit. In fact, at the end of this quest line, Astrid performs a sacrament, I believe, on herself, and then you get to kill her. And that was completely with the approval of the Mother. Like, she was totally okay with that, so it really doesn't matter. And then in Oblivion, we had a guy that actually killed a lot of... And I like the word they use in Oblivion. They say systematically. A Brotherhood member systematically killed every other member of the cult. And the Mother knew about this, and she was completely cool with it. She does not give a shit. Like, if you're cool with her, she treats you okay, but if you're just whatever, she really doesn't care. So, it's not really an answer to you, Daniel, but, I mean, it really just depends on her. If she doesn't care, then she will kill you. It's really that simple. But it's very interesting because every single one of these tenants will actually be broken by Astrid by the end of the quest line. Every single one of them. She dishonored the Nightmother by refusing to accept her contracts. You know, she betrays the Brotherhood officially at the end, you know, with the Penitus Oculatus. She refuses the contract given by the Nightmother. And I mean, they all eventually get broken, which is very interesting. But the video is already running too... I mean, there's so much that I want to talk about, but there's just not enough time. There really just isn't. I'll see about talking about the Nightmother in the next episode, because it's like the woman that actually became the Nightmother, because it's so interesting. Everything is so interesting with this quest line. Well, boys, that's gonna be the end of this episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.